What do you think, especially in an educational context, what do you think are the key variables that influence productivity, especially when learning, or the quality of learning?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think this is a very simple, general way of saying it, that when humans are just being as we are, which I know that can bring up all like, what does that mean? But when we just are as we are, there's no pressure. There's not a ton of thinking saying, again, this is wrong. I should be feeling something else. I need to get somewhere else. I need to do more. When all of that psychological stuff is at a minimum, when we are at our most relaxed, at our most peaceful, just as we are going to be at our most productive without question. We're clear. Now that doesn't mean we're running around pulling all-nighters doing a bunch of stuff. That's kind of what you're pointing to, I think, where productivity doesn't necessarily fit with health and wellness, right? So we can be productive in sort of a traditional sense and not be healthy or well at all. And we could probably really question the output of that productivity and the quality of it, if we really look at that. So that's one thing. We can run ourselves around, and that's not really what we're pointing to here. It's more that, yeah, when we're in this clear, relaxed, like when we're just being as we are and there's just not a lot in the way, our clarity is at its peak, our quality is at its peak, our productivity is at its peak. What truly feels like it wants and needs to be done in that moment will be done with a minimum of effort compared to other times. So that's probably not news to anyone listening, but it's like, it's so ironic how it feels to me like people hear that and they, oh, that's right, that's great. So how do I relax? Tell me all the steps now to relax and let my thinking go, which adds a whole other task, and I think what's so big and what we point to in this is like just seeing like, no, that's the default state. We can quit adding. We don't need to add so much. It's the default state. And it becomes even more of a natural default the more we start to see how thought and feeling work, that this stuff is safe, that we don't have to fight it and steer it and manipulate it. It's like so much of our effort and energy just gets to fall away. And from there, humans are just incredibly productive. You know, we are doing creatures, like we want to do and we want to participate in life, and that's a fear that a lot of people share. It's like, oh, if I relax too much, I'll just sit around and relax forever and I won't get anything done. And we can see where that comes from, because that's a mind that thinks it's running the show, that thinks, oh, I'm keeping all this going, and if I relax then everything's going to fall apart. But in fact, it doesn't happen that way at all. You might need a rest for a while, but after a while, like, we are just so designed to be and act and interact and be part of the world that stuff will happen.